Sure, we all want to know why the chicken crossed the road, but it turns out the real question is, how did it get to the other side? All over the world, government officials have come up with some innovative ways to help animals avoid hazards as they migrate from one area to another. Officials in Burlington, Ontario recently closed part of a road to help preserve the endangered Jefferson Salamander. Joining me now to talk about some of these innovative wildlife crossings is Lesley Matich, a Conservation Halton ecologist. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's talk about this Jefferson Salamander and how we are helping it get from point A to point B.
Great. So, as you mentioned, it's in the city of Burlington. There's this road that connects Burlington up to Hamilton. And it goes right through breeding grounds for Jefferson salamanders. They migrate after they wake up after the winter and move across the road to either side. And so what the city's done is actually close it during this really critical part to protect them.
How much of a threat are these roads to wildlife in Canada?
So wildlife are actually impacted quite a bit by roads. It could be from collisions, just killing them on the road. It could be from habitat loss. So we put these roads through these natural areas and it bisects their breeding grounds, their feeding grounds, and that sort of thing. So there actually is a huge impact from roads.
Well, so much of these roads were just put in prior to even giving any consideration to wildlife ecology or migration patterns, I'm guessing. So a lot of work must have had to be done to research how it's been impacted and how we can help. And these are the result of a lot of those studies, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah. So let's go back to sort of a place like, because this picture right here was taken in Banff. One thing that I love about Banff is it's a city within a national park. So talk to me about sort of the wildlife crossings in Banff.
So Banff is actually a great example. It's sort of this iconic Canadian thing that we've done. So there's this overpass that they put in to move wildlife. It benefits large animals, small animals. It's just a really great thing.
And then you've got, okay, this is one I need some explanation on. There's a crab bridge on Christmas Island. What's a crab bridge?
So I only learned about this one recently.
Okay.
It's actually
here we go.
really
That's
neat.
a viz.
So apparently there's millions of crabs on Christmas Island. That same sort of thing. They breed on one side and they need to go to the other. And so what they've done is they've put in these tunnels underground as well as a 5-meter high bridge, which is actually really inventive.
Oh, that's incredible. Now, is this a case of if you build it, they will come? I mean, did they put these bridges in and these underpasses in, and then the natural instinct of the animal is to then cross there? Or did they have to do some real research into making sure they put it in one particular area versus another?
So it's a combination of things. So you want to do the research to find out where they are crossing, but then the essential part of it is fencing, because I mean, the crabs are going to go where they want to go.
Right.
Salamanders will too. So you put the fencing up to direct them, and then they're concentrated and funneled across.
Okay. Kenya has got a lot of elephants they got to get around, and there's an elephant underpass?
Right.
Okay, so crabs go over, elephants go under. So talk to me about this one.
So this one actually was about 10 years in the making. They didn't know if it was going to work. But what they did is they worked with the local government, worked with the local people, and they put in this tunnel for elephants. And actually, they're using it, which is fantastic.
Okay, because if an elephant doesn't want to go somewhere, they're going to go somewhere else.
Exactly.
So you got to make it easy for them to use. We've been using this viz a lot. Can we please show the penguins in New Zealand? This is great. So why do they need to go under the road?
So the little penguins, which is what they're called,
Is that their name?
There is, yeah.
Just little penguins.
Little penguins.
Oh.
There's a fancier name, but they nest on one side and they feed on the other. And so they were trying again to offset the impacts of this road in the middle of their pathway.
And we're seeing that they're using worse. And have they noticed where these things are taken into account, that there is less. There are less accidents. There's less roadkill. I don't know, for lack of a better word.
So I can't speak to the international ones, but definitely within the city of Burlington, we did surveys before the crossing was put in or the closure was put in, and surveys after. And since there's no cars, there's no mortality.
You know, I think we can all wrap our heads around the notion of yielding to animals, but most of those involve sort of animals that we can herd, but Norway has a bee highway. This one requires explanation, please.
So it's completely different than what we've been talking about. It's individuals, it's businesses, government, everybody coming together to create a highway, but not in the sense of what you traditionally think. They're planting their roofs, they're putting gardens in on the ground, they're putting in beehives as well.
Oh, so it's like a network.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's the goal then? Is it to get them to migrate from place to place, or to hop from one of these locations to the next until they arrive at a safe location?
In this example, it's actually to create habitat for them.
Okay.
So giving them options, different things to pollinate. There's actually an example in the city of Hamilton where they're doing similar things, but in people's backyards.
Now, I also heard that in a recent study of the traffic on these Banff overpasses, they've noticed that a lot of human beings are using that. I'm guessing that sort of defeats the purpose.
It would depend on the time of year and the time of day. I think anything can benefit from having the ability to move across. So hopefully more wildlife will use it than humans, but you won't stop people from using them either.
Lesley Matich, thank you so much for being here this morning, sharing these stories. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time.
Great, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.